Hi everyone, this is Sarah at Health by Sarah. This week I was gifted from a friend a free box of HelloFresh. I've never done it before, and this is not a sponsored video by the way, but I just wanted to show you my experience with it. So let me show you the box. So here's the box at the front door. It came refrigerated. I believe there's a bunch of ice packs or dry ice inside, so we're going to see when I open it. So I cut it open. And there's 3 different meals in here. That's pretty awesome. There's Tuscan sausage and pepper spaghetti, chicken pineapple quesadillas, and smothered pepper and jack burgers. So we gotta decide which one is for dinner tonight. I decided to make the quesadillas tonight. So here's all the instructions. And here's all the ingredients laid out. A couple of packets of mozzarella cheese, an onion, cilantro, pineapple, and it looks like there is citric or ascorbic acid as a preservative in there. The Southwest spice blend, it's just the spices, so nothing else added. I see the sour cream, however, does have some things that aren't so great, like potassium sorbate, carrageenan, modified food starch. I don't even know what sodium tripolyphosphate is. So I might just skip the sour cream because it doesn't have the best of ingredients in here. The chicken, I'm not sure the sourcing of it other than it says raised without antibiotics. I think that's pretty standard now though. Also the tortillas, if you can't see it on here, I'm gonna read them. It says unbleached, enriched wheat flour, water, canola oil, sea salt, cane sugar, mono and diglyceride sodium acid, triphosphate, sodium bicarbonate, guar gum, cellulose gum, cornstarch, ascorbic acid, fumaric acid, I believe, and calcium phosphate, which is a preservative, and it says enzymes added for softness. I forgot to show you, I was drying these and washing them earlier, but there's also a pepper, a lime, and a tomato that came with it. I'm gonna have to look up to see if any of these things are organic. They may be. But that's probably another reason I wouldn't just buy this on my own, because a lot of these things aren't organic, and then there's processed ingredients in the tortillas and the sour cream, and even a little bit in the pineapple. Okay, so I ended up assembling everything just about. I preheated the oven to 500. I prepared the pico de gallo over here. I had to saute the onions, peppers, and pineapples. I used a little butter for that. And then I had to saute the chicken, which was already in strips for me, and add the Southwest blend. And I used coconut oil for that. And I had to oil each, just one side of each tortilla. And I used the rest of my avocado oil and coconut oil to do that. And I've already closed the one half, but basically it told me to put the mozzarella on the bottom, then the filling of the chicken, the onions and peppers and pineapple, and then the rest of the mozzarella on top, and then just fold it in half, and then you bake it. And once it's all baked, you can slice it and eat it with pico de gallo and sour cream if you choose, with a squeeze of lime. Here we are with meal number 2, smothered pepper jack burgers. Here are the instructions here, and I have all the ingredients laid out. We got some buns. Again, these are probably buns I wouldn't get normally just because of the ingredients. Yeah, there's enriched flour, non-organic type of ingredients that would be genetically modified, like corn flour. I get these sprouted ones that are in the freezer section at Earth Fare, Whole Foods typically, but again, I don't really do these very often, and sometimes I go without a bun. But here are the raw ingredients: a pepper, onion, 2 little sweet potatoes, some ground beef. It's not grass-fed. Look, I gotta show the pepper jack cheese. Thank you. Okay, and then I have sweet and smoky barbecue seasoning, which is just some spices. Oh, I guess there's sugar in there, so that's not great because it can be genetically modified. And I don't really put added sugar in things. I'm gonna skip the ketchup because I see it doesn't have great ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, and we do have organic ketchup at home, or maybe just no ketchup at all. I do like mustard on there. Cholula has some natural flavor and just stuff I wouldn't normally have, so I'll probably skip that too. So what I've done is chopped up the onions and the peppers, and then also the sweet potatoes I've sliced. I've put salt, pepper, half of the barbecue seasoning on, and I melted some coconut oil to drizzle around it. You can use any fat you want. I just ask that you please do not use vegetable oil. So you can use coconut oil, sustainably sourced palm oil, lard, tallow from pasture-raised animals, even ghee if you wanted to. Avocado oil is also high cooking fat, but please don't use any sort of vegetable oils other than avocado or coconut or sustainably sourced palm, because those are really bad for your health. And since I'm avoiding the ketchup, I actually had organic ketchup in the refrigerator, and I decided to kind of make my own sauce. This is Korean mayonnaise that I made from the paleo cookbook that I have by Jane Choi, and I'm making an alternative sauce with a little organic ketchup and the homemade mayonnaise, which I made with avocado oil in it. And the next thing to do is cooking the onion and pepper, stuffing the patties, cooking the patties, and finishing and serving. So right now I'm cooking the fries in my toaster oven, so it should take maybe 10 minutes or so. I gotta do it in a couple batches because you don't want to overcrowd the pan. Pretty much everything's ready. Onions and peppers ready to go. Sweet potato fries, I put in the air fryer, burnt a little bit. I only did it about 10 minutes or less for both batches, so you gotta watch it for sure. Right now I have the stuffed burgers. They're stuffed with pepper jack cheese in the middle. That's actually the first time I'm ever doing something like that, but that's why I'm doing a cover so they don't overcook. And then there's my sauce, and then I'm gonna toast these buns at the end. That's all there's needed to do for this recipe. On to my last HelloFresh meal, and today it's Tuscan sausage and pepper spaghetti. So here's the recipe here. Here's all the ingredients. Pasta, parsley, this is Parmesan, a little bell pepper, onion, tomatoes, sweet Italian sausage, the spices, and it's just spices in there, so nothing else added. This is like chicken bouillon, I'm guessing, and I looked for the ingredients and I didn't see any, so I'm actually gonna skip this ingredient because I suspect it might have MSG in it, which is a no-no. So to replace that, I'm just gonna do a little scoop of my Perfect Supplements bone broth. I love this when I'm in a pinch, when I don't have any bone broth, and I actually happen to be out of bone broth at the moment. Otherwise, I would have just used a cube of bone broth or something. But again, I'm out of it right now, so I'm just going to use a scoop of that, and that should replace the flavor nicely in the recipe and the benefits of it. So right now I'm just boiling a pot of water, and I'm going to prep the veggies. I already washed the pepper, and I'm just going to chop them right now. Here's the end result. I sauteed the peppers, onions, the sausage. I took it out of the casing, and then you add the tomato sauce, and then you add some of the pasta water, and I added a scoop of my bone broth powder. You season it with salt and pepper, and then the Parmesan and parsley, and that's about it. Okay, so I want to talk about the positives and negatives of HelloFresh. One of the great positives is that it is very convenient, although it is not like a frozen meal already made and you just have to heat it up. It is mostly raw ingredients, and so you do have to chop them, but they also give you directions. So another positive is giving you recipes you might not have had and giving you ideas in the future of what to have. And the convenience of it all, especially if you are a working parent or a working professional, it just makes it a lot easier, and you can cook fresh meals at home. You could even do what I did and replace some of the ingredients with your own. For example, with the pasta, I saw that it has folic acid in it, which I wouldn't ever buy at the store. And I saw the chicken seasoning. It might have been MSG. It didn't label it, so I didn't even use it. But stuff like that, I just avoided using, and you could use your own ingredients. But then I guess I see more negatives to it than positives, just because I try to eat mostly organic diet if I can. And I looked it up online. I saw that they don't claim to be organic or anything. They show where they source some of their ingredients from. So I guess depending on the supplier, they might have organic practices. Like the avocado people, I know avocados are on the Clean 15 list. They are like the #1 produce on the Clean 15 list, because they only found like one pesticide in like 1% of the samples they took. So pretty much all avocados have nothing on them, and they also have a very thick skin. But then I saw that the seafood that they source, they try to sustainably source it. And then their chicken is antibiotic free, I guess cage free. But, you know, that's not really saying a whole lot about the quality of it. So I do try to source the highest quality fish and meat or animal products that I can. And buying from a source like this does not give you that quality that I normally have at home. And they have those ingredients, like I mentioned, like MSG, and I saw carrageenan and other things in the sour cream that I would normally avoid. So I just basically toss those in the trash. That all being said, it might still be a better idea than going out to eat, depending on where you go out to eat, because you're still getting relatively fresh ingredients. And when you go out to eat, unless you go to a restaurant that's like all organic or farm raised and farm to table, then you probably aren't getting high quality ingredients at a restaurant. So I guess depending on where you go out to eat, it might be a better option than going out to eat. And it definitely seems cheaper than going out to eat, just by a little bit, but definitely not cheaper than cooking at home. So I guess you have to decide for yourself what option is the best for you as a stay-at-home parent or as a working professional, if it works into your budget, if it works into your plan for food for the week. But I definitely have to say it is very convenient in comparison to planning a meal for yourself, and you don't have to think of it. I wanted to tell you my point in pointing out all of these ingredients that I normally avoid. I'm not trying to be perfect or make anybody feel bad by any means. I just want to point out what is harmful to eat, especially as a regular part of your diet. And people say, oh, everything in moderation, but in reality, we're getting a lot of these ingredients, quote unquote, in moderation. So it's really not in moderation, and we really want to try to avoid them when we buy them at the store or even in restaurants, because these kind of ingredients are making us sick, especially things like vegetable oils. So I would say if you're going to cut out anything in your diet, one thing, it would be vegetable oils, and replace it with good animal fats or coconut oil and sustainably raised palm oil. But yeah, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. So I just want to encourage people that you can be healthier by cutting out these processed ingredients in your diet and things that aren't natural to the human diet. I hope you have found this video to be fun and informative, and let me know what you think in the comments. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell if you want to know when I post. Until next time, bye.